Okay, the assignment number 1, we have 7 parentheses x minus 3 to the second equals 35. Now it's the x is to the second, but the whole x minus 3 is to the second, which we haven't had that before. So you can't distribute the 7 with a power there. The power blocks you from being able to distribute it. I wrote blocked there. So the next alternative is to take out your parentheses and replace that with the letter Q and raise it to the second power, and then place a 7 in front of it as a multiplier equals 35. Now after you've done that, you need to make a table, and then you're going to bring back the x minus 3 on both sides of the table. You're going to see how that fills into place here in a second. So we would divide by the 7, q to the second equals 5. Then I find the square root of 5, which is irrational. So 2.24, that's what q equals. But it could be positive or negative, okay? Now you come over here. On one side you put 2.24, on the other side you put negative 2.24, and then you solve them both. You add 3, that's 5.24. That's your first answer for x. You add 3, negative 2.24 plus 3 is 0.76. Okay, 2 answers. Next one, number 2. We've got 3 times x plus 4 to the second power equals 21. There's 2 answers because it's to the second power, but we have an entire expression to the second. The second is not to just the x, it's to this entire expression here. Okay. Now you can't distribute the 3 with a power here. The power blocks you from being able to distribute. So you need to replace that expression with q. Raise your q to the second, put a multiplier of 3 in front of it, equals 21. Now remember, you're not solving for q, you're solving for x, so you need to make your table, and you'll bring back the x plus 4 after we solve for q. So I divide by 3. Q has to have 2 answers because it's to the second power, so q to the second equals 7. Then I find the square root of 7. Okay? Remember, a square root could be the positive or the negative. So the square root of the number 7 is 2.65. So on one side we put 2.65, on the other side we put negative 2.65. So I subtract 4. 2.65 minus 4 is negative 1.35. Then negative 2.65 minus 4 is negative 6.65. Those are your 2 answers. Okay, problem number 3. We have 5, and then x plus 6 to the second power minus 3 equals 32. So we have 2 answers. So again, we can't distribute because of the second power. When the whole parentheses is to a power, you cannot distribute the 5. So your next alternative is to replace that with q. I raise the q to the second. Q has a multiplier of 5. I need to subtract 3 equals 32. And I go make this table here, and I will bring back the expression x plus 6, because that's what we need to figure out what the x equals. The q helps me get there. So I add 3 and divide by 5, then I apply the square root. 5q to the second equals 35, then I divide by 5, because that means 5 times q. Then I find the square root of the number 7. 2.65 again. And on the other side we make it negative. So we subtract 6 on both of them. So here I take 2.65 minus 6, negative 3.35. Then negative 2.65 minus 6 is negative 8.65. Okay, number 4. Now number 4 is different. Okay, it's not any harder, but you got to pay attention here. You can't just blindly bring in the Q every time. There's no second power in this. No, I didn't forget to put it. Okay, it's not there. So there would only be one solution to the problem. So you don't have the power. So if you don't have the power, you need to do the distribution. So 7x minus 28 plus 3 equals 10. Now, we need to add those two together. There's no reason those can't go together. Those are both constants. So I take negative 28 plus 3. It's negative 25. So 7x minus 25 equals 10. Then I easily solve for x by adding 25 dividing by 7. And that's 5. There will be no square root because there's no second power. So 5 is the lone answer.